Hey everyone, I'm Rudy Oliva and you're watching Smoking the Barbecue. Today's video is going to be all about doing good barbecue, but on a budget. As I'm sure you may have noticed, the price of meat has gone up significantly, so buying a brisket is not as cheap as it once was. Also, the price of steel has gone up significantly, so getting a quality 1/4 inch offset smoker is just not cheap anymore. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a chuck roast, which is a great alternative to brisket, and we're going to be doing it on a very affordable Weber kettle. So stay tuned, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so before we season the chuck roast, we're going to go ahead and get the fire going. So I'm going to put my grill basket in, and I got a tumbleweed. You could also use any other kind of fire starter that you want to use. I just prefer these. We're going to go ahead and put it here, and we're going to put some lump charcoal on top. Okay guys, so what we got here is a 3-pound chuck roast, and this cost me $25. Now, unlike a brisket, this doesn't have a fat cap that we got to trim. So the only thing that I'm going to be taking off of this is just little loose pieces. And that is pretty much it. Now for seasoning, we are going to do a heavy coat of coarse kosher salt, a heavy coat of coarse ground black pepper, and garlic powder. Flip it over and repeat. Now that the coals are nice and hot, I'm going to take a chunk of hickory and I'm going to set it right on top. That's where we're going to get our smoke flavor. I'm going to give it a minute to catch. I'm going to close the lid, let the temperature come up, and then we'll go ahead and put the chuck roast on. So what we're doing is we're cooking with indirect heat. As you saw, I put the meat on this side and I have my fire on this side. And I want the vent to be on the same side as the meat. Because what I want to happen now is I want that heat and that smoke to come up and go over to the meat and then come out that vent. Also, what you want to do is you want to run your vents wide open to get as much oxygen going through there as possible. So now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to monitor the smoke coming out of this vent. Once it dies down, I'll know that I got to add another hickory chunk, and I'll just keep doing that until I get the internal temperature that I want to wrap this thing. As far as the temperature gauge goes, you can't really pay too much attention to this because of the fact that it's directly over the fire. So it's going to give you a much higher reading than what's actually over by the meat side. Just keep the amount of charcoal in there low and you should be fine. Don't pay too much attention to the temperature reading that you're getting here. All right, so we're close to an hour in on this cook, and to be honest, I haven't done this in a while, and there's something that I forgot that I actually like to do when I'm doing indirect heat cooking in the Weber, and that's adding a water pan under the meat. So I completely forgot, so I'm going to go ahead and add it in now. Okay, that'll do it. We'll check back on it in a little bit. Okay, so I'm at the 3-hour mark of the cook, and I'm going to go ahead and open it and check the temperature, see where we're at. 142. So we still got a little bit to go before I wrap. All right, so I think I hit a stall. I'm at like probably 4 hours and like 45 minutes in, and I don't think it's budging from the 142. I'm going to check it again. If it's still at that stall, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it and finish it in the oven. So let's check it out. Yeah, it's definitely still at that 142. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it, wrap it, and put it in the oven. Okay, so we are going to wrap it in 2 layers of aluminum foil. Just like that, let's go put it in the oven. All right, so we're 5.5 hours in, and 198. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it, and we're gonna put it in a cooler so it can rest. All right, so I'm gonna take this towel and wrap it up. Just like that, we'll set it in the cooler. And we'll let it rest for about a couple of hours. Okay, so I just finished letting it rest for 2 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up and see how it looks. All right, so as you can see, it looks pretty good. It's nice and juicy. And now let's see how it tastes. Tenderness, not bad. I think the smoke flavor is right on point. It's not too overpowering. I think this is definitely a win. Really good, actually. Yeah, this for sure is a win. So as you can see, you can still make delicious barbecue even without an offset smoker. Now don't get me wrong, the offset smoker does make it easier. You know, it's easier to manage the temperatures and all that. But even with a Weber Kettle Grill, as long as you follow the principles of barbecue, you can still have a great result. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.